Hi everybody, I'm Tuesday Moriarty and I'm here today to tell you that I am this month's guest designer for Junk Journal Ideas Facebook group. This will be a tutorial. It is for the April Flower Power Challenge and it's a tri-fold tag booklet. This is a prototype I made here and I'll just walk you through how we do everything. You will be able to get your pattern. We'll have a code for you to go to my Etsy and get your pattern for free if you're part of Junk Journal Ideas Facebook group. If not, you can buy it anyway and still make this and follow the tutorial. So, first of all, let's show you what this is. This is a tag. It's tri-fold. It's got a string closure. It opens up like this. You have cards on both sides, so you have a tuck on both sides. You have a pad here with coffee dyed paper, and it slips out so you can replace it. They have this little, I don't know, what would you call it? It's the closure, Brad. How about that? Right here. And if you flip it over, on this side, you have two pockets over here with tags. Another one here. You have two tags here that you can decorate any way you want. I just got these pictures off of an ad that I got in the mail, and they had pretty flowers on it for spring, and I just cut them out and put them on. You can get any kind of flowers that you want. You just have to remember not to let them be too thick because you want to be able to fold this. And then over here, you have a pocket that has a flap, and then there is a tag inside of there. The pattern has all those pieces there for you to get your outlines for. Okay, now these here are brads, and we're going to make these. If you don't have brads, you can use a button, and I'll show you about that later. So, I figure we'll start on this side. So this is what we're going to be making. So I'll put that aside. Here I have two pieces of cardboard. I would get my tacky glue, put it all around. I would probably put more than that, but for purposes here, that's what I'm going to do. I'll go here and grab one of those pretend credit cards that you get in the mail, and I just go and put that along all the edges. This is just cardboard from the layers in the canned cat food. So then you would just go and stick the other one on here. Then you would let that dry. Here it is. Here's a dry one. So what you would do is take the pattern. This is the base panel pattern. If you've already glued your cardboard together like this, then you would only need to trace this 3 times. So you're tracing for each one of these for that base part. But if you want to and you don't have good enough scissors, or it's going to be too hard on your hands, you can cut out before you go and glue them together, your cardboards, and make that double thickness. You can cut out 6 of these, and then after they're cut out, then glue them together. Glue, 2 pieces for each panel. And then if that's easier for you, then you can do that. So then what I would do, just line my pattern up, right? Trace around it. Mark here. Mark it in a little bit. That doesn't matter. I'm going to cover it anyway. You would do that 3 times. And then you would go and cut it out. What we're gonna do is cover both sides of it. I do not have any of that same paper that I had on my prototype that I made, my sample. I'm gonna be doing some other papers. So this is what you have. And you would have 3 of those. Then what you would do, I have my art glitter glue. If you've watched Donna's tutorials, you know she's a very neat worker. I am not, and I tend to end up getting glue sticking out the edge a little bit and having to wipe it off, and I don't have her good cleanliness about me. You take this, because this glue dries fast and I'm messing around here. We'll go and stick that on the edge. Then we'll go cut it out. Keep pulling, not forgetting to work away from my body so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry guys, girls, ladies. So we got the one side like that. Then you just do the same thing for the other side. And you'll need 3 completed pieces like this. So we have 3. I'm just going to ink here. On this particular one, I'm using the walnut stain. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our pockets on here. So what you would do is on the sheet, that's this 2 on the patterns. It's these 2 here. This is your pattern piece for these, right? And the reason it says 6 is if you're doing it, you know, single thickness. And then here, you would cut these out. That's the patterns for those pockets. This is it. What I did with this particular one is I actually glued the pattern right on it and then cut it out. And I didn't do that with all the pieces, but I did it with this. I kind of wanted it sturdier, and I wanted to make it that you could put a thicker tag in there than what I made. I just put a thin tag in, but if you wanted to embellish it or put something thicker, there'll be room because of how I did it. This would be the one for the right side, right? We're going to do the one for the left side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, because this is going to be the front, right? And we're going to fold these under. We're going to take this. I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to flip it over. Right? This is the way I want it to be. Flip it over this way. I line it up on the edge when I can. Anytime I can, it just saves cutting. We got that down here. The edges here, you need to cut. They're at an angle because that's the flaps that are going to fold under. And they maybe have to get trimmed once you fold it over. We'll see. We're going to fold the edges over. So I'm lining it up because I can see the black lines from the pattern. And if you have one of those nice things that Donna has to help fold it over, that's great. I do not have one of those. Lining it up to the black lines of the pattern. So you just use your bone folder, get all this squished down nice. If you don't want to put that on the background, you don't have to. You can just trace it and then cut it out. If you'd prefer to do that, you can. Now see how this is kind of running into each other a little bit? I'm just going to trim this so they don't overlap. See, that's better. None of the others are overlapping, that's good. All right, so we got that. Let's go and take 2 of these and put them on. Okay, so you put it on all the flaps. Try to make it even, about 1/4 of an inch. I'm eyeballing it, just what looks good with the outline around everything is what I'm doing. I'm not measuring it. I'm not, you know, if you feel better doing that, then go ahead. But it's, you know, just probably just shy of 1/4 inch or 1/4 inch. All right, so we got 1 pocket there. We'll do the other side. So these are the 2 side ones, right? Which are like these 2 side ones. So now we're going to do this part here. So that would be the center like this. What we're going to do is take a single thickness of like the cereal box or the cardboard that you're using, the chipboard. Right, so that's a single thickness. I'm just cutting along the pattern. It says 2 times. You can do it 2 times and do it thicker like I did. I'm just going to try it 1 time this time and see if it's less bulky and if I like it better. And we'll find out. And then you can decide for yourself what you want to do when you make it. Okay, don't throw these pieces out. You're going to need them. We're going to go and glue this on here. I want to get the opposite here. I want to break it up so it's not all flowers, flowers, flowers. I want to break it up and do the yellow side, so I'm actually gluing it this way. Cut this out. I guess if you wanted to, you could have put the pattern on one side and glued the paper on the other side, and then you would only have to cut it once, instead of like I just did, cutting it each side. Whichever works for you. This will go like this across here. But we have to have room for the booklet, right, the tag to slip in, so we need to lift this up a little bit. That's what this is about. Notepad shims 2 times. I'm not even going to trace it, but you see what it is. You see the size of it. You need something about that size. That's good. And I'm going to do 2 of them about that thickness. Okay. And I don't think, I gotta see if I need this too thick or not. If I think I do, I'm gonna glue them on and then I'm gonna see how I feel about it. And if I feel like it's not giving me enough room, enough lift for the pad to fit underneath, then I'll go and add another layer of this. And since I'm doing it this way, you're gonna get to see what works, and then you won't have to experiment like I am. This is going to give me the lift I need, hopefully. Let's see. Oh, I think it'll work. We'll test with this. So this is going to go here. This will be here. Yeah, that's going to work. Great. Perfect. Okay. Instead of cutting this 2 times, you only need to cut it 1 time. I'll change it on the pattern before I put it up for you. Times 1. Okay? I will change that so you won't get confused. Then we're going to go take this. Take this. We want to go just below the shoulder a little bit. This is the shoulder, right? On either side. So we want to guesstimate the distance between the 2 sides and try to get it on there straight and about equal distance, right and left. That's not too bad. Yay, that's good. Now, what's the next thing? Let's go and do the pad that slips in here. Okay, so we need to do this pad here. Now that part of the pad is, which part of the pattern? Let's get it out so you can see. It's this part of the pattern. Notepad cover, decorative paper. I cut it out already. You don't need to watch me cut it out. Let's put those up. This is it. It'll be like this. You don't need to have this glued on here because you want to be able to see that pattern. I'm just cutting it out, lay it on there, and then you can just take your pencil and go like this, right? See the different folds? You can do it down the other side as well. So I'm just going and lining it up to each one of these bends. So you can see that's the first one, that's the second one, that's the third one. So I'm going to get this, my bone folder, squish it down. Then we'll go like this. The first one, squish it down. Then we got the second one here. Squish that, third one actually, squish that down. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, okay, and we're going to glue that back. So we're going to put that on there. We're going to fold over this top piece here. That's good. We'll put that aside. What we need now is some coffee dyed paper. Coffee, tea. If you don't want any of that, don't have it, it doesn't matter. Just some paper. Okay, so I decided to use my avocado dyed paper. I already did the marks. What it is, if you can see, I marked inside so that the paper will fit inside from left to right here. So that's what we're doing. We're cutting the paper for the pad, and the distances I'm doing is inside the cover because I don't want it sticking out. Fold these over, making sure it will be not sticking out the bottom. So I can always trim off the bottom if I need to. So that's why we had this little other bend right here. That'll work. Yay. What we do is we have the stapler. Just gonna run some staples across the top. We'll get our glue. Put it in here, across the top. this in. Okay, make sure you're getting it kind of centered as much as you can, eyeballing. All right, so now I got a paper pad. And this, the reason you don't glue it here on this side, because you want this to be able to slide in all the way. And if you glued it here, it would stop up here. And we want it to be able to go all the way down. So there we go. We have this. We have this. We have this. That is all of that. Let's go again here. Now, what we need to do is do this right here. So, what I used was, let me get it. I have this part of the pattern. If you don't have a 5/8 punch, you can use this part of the pattern to help you. To just cut around it. You know, may not be perfect, but that's okay. Or if you have something you can trace around that's about that size, you can do that. I used four layers. I punched 1, 2, 3, 4 and put them together. So that's what we're going to do here with this, so you can see. Because we need 3 of these. You're going to need 2 on the other side. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, here's the 4th one. And this is just the same paper as this. It's not this brown paper here is not as thick as like this pattern paper that's double-sided, you know, color on it. This isn't as thick, so that's why I needed 4. If you have thicker paper, you may only need 3 layers. Here's the pattern. Right? If you don't have a 5/8 punch or something similar, you could go in and trace this around, cut it out, and trace it around and cut them out. You find your center on each one. I need glasses for that. Hold your horses. Okay. And I am not going to have exactly in the center because that's just not how I roll. You know, that's there, about there. That's approximately there, and this is approximately here. What you're going to do here is, where's my awl? So you're trying to make the hole big enough so that the brad can get through. I have 3 decorative brads here. If they're not decorative, that's fine. It's a brad, it opens up like this. So what we're going to do is put that through. This will go right here. So what I want to do, if you look at the original one, you look at this. This is like this. And if you turn it over, this is where this is going to go, right? The little handle for closure. If you turn it over, you've got 2 pockets that are going to go here. You don't want it, you want it kind of in the center between the shoulder there. Here's the shoulder, right? So you pretend that this is where it stops. So you're thinking you want to put your pocket about 1/4 inch from there, 1/4 inch from where the shoulder is, right? And so you're going to put your pockets there. So this is in between where the pockets would be. On here, here you go. There's your shoulder. It's going to come up 1/4 inch. It's going to be about that fat. The same one here, about 1/4 inch, about that fat. So you want this about here. You can measure it if you want. If that makes you feel better, you're welcome to do it. So I am going to get this again. I'll get my wonky one and put it through. We'll turn it this way. And we will open this. And what I do is I take my bone folder, let me get this twisted around. I take my bone folder and just push down with it because my hands are not strong enough to push it down. See, now it's flat. I won't get caught on anything. So that's what we got there. Now, put these two aside. They're going on the back. We have this. Nope, that's the other one. We have this, this, and this. Now what we're going to do is put some fabric on. We're going to connect these so that when we flip it over, so you don't get confused of what goes on each side. This way it's all together, so it will make it easier for you. I just have, what is this? This is an old sheet. Yep, that's what it is. It's an old sheet that I just tea dyed. And when we line them up, you don't want them butted against each other. When we connect them, you don't want them butted like that. You want space between them because you want them to be able to fold. And you also have, you know, some depth here, some height built up. So if you're going like this, it's going to have a hard time closing if it's all on each other. If you give it some room, a little bit of room, you don't have to get crazy unless you know that you're going to put in like really bulky stuff. But you try to do it pretty straight. I'm eyeballing it. We're going to take our art glitter glue, run a line up here, run a line up here. If you don't have art glitter glue, you can use your tacky glue, you can use your Fabri-Tac, whatever works for you. All right. Is it too far apart? Let me see. I'm going to put some more here. Get this off of here, make it easier for me. Okay, that's better. That feels good. We are going to do the same thing on the other side. It's going to be about this long. All right, so that's that side. We got the pad out right now. We'll put it in later. Now we're going to flip it over. Okay, so that this side is going over. You're flipping it over. You got the brad over here. That's the same as this. So let me take this out of here. Put it over, get it out of the way so you can see just the base. You know, what's built up on the base. Let's get these two pockets here done. Oh, you know what I forgot to show you? Hold on a second. If you do not have brads, what you can do is say this is say this is right here, right? Say it's there. You can find a button. And sew it on. And you can use this as if it's a grommet. Instead of even making this, these little round pieces here, instead of making this, if you want to, or if you don't have grommets, you can go and sew a button on. And it will do the same thing. It will just do the same thing. Tie it off. All right, so that's all I'm trying to show you, is you have another option if you don't have these brads. Here's the next thing, is these pockets here. We'll move that out of the way. That's this right here, small tag pockets. You'll use decorative paper and you will cut 2 of them out. So I have one cut out already. Here, I cut the other one out. I cut out the pattern, right? Here it is. This is what this is. Get this out of the way. I don't need to do the lines. You can just see where it bends. You can see where it bends. But if you want to mark it, or if you want to go and glue it on there and it will help you do the lines better, you can do that. I am just doing it by eyeball because I know where the tabs are, because you can see them. See, you can see the end here where it bends, and you can see right at the edge here. That's where the tab stops. So I'm just bending it there and there. And then the last one, see, just fold up like that. We take the 5/8, it's the same punch. Bring it here, about like that. Oh, I glued that one together already. Let me do it here. I'm just putting that little tab on. Just go like this. Okay. I'm gonna go and put this on here so that that is in between. I want it kind of more to the top so you can pull the tag out pretty easily. I probably put my brad a little high. It probably would have been better if I put it a little lower, but that's fine. That's fine. Put the other pocket over here. So we got those 2 pockets in, yay. Now the next thing we have is this centerpiece here, this way, this here, which is this in your patterns. The slotted pocket, you only need to cut it out once. I mean, you only need to cut one of them. That would be this. I went, cut it out already. What I am going to do on this one though, I'm going to glue it on. And the reason I'm gluing it on is because I want this slot here so that I know what I'm, where I have to cut. So I'm putting this on here. We can see where we need to cut it. Now you either need a utility knife or a X-Acto knife. I'm going to use an X-Acto. I don't want to cut on the back of my board here. I have a self-healing mat I'm going to use. If you cut that first, right, and cut from here to here, see if I did all right. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to fold the edges over so that we can make our pocket. This is, you know, it's a pretend Tim Holtz. If you have one of the Tim Holtz dies and you want to go and use that instead, you can. You don't need to use this part of the pattern. I just don't have one of those. So I'm doing my own little version with only one slot instead of 3. But if you have it and want to use it, go for it. Let's go get these down. See if we got that. Yeah, there we go. We got this. We're back to here. I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to also get the pattern on here a little better too. We're going to put this approximately, trying to get an even distance from left to right, right? The next thing to do is this piece here. So that's this. This is the top flap. This is this, see? And this is the bottom part here. So you would cut those both out, which I just happen to have cut here. This should not be here. I happen to have it cut here. All right, so that's the top part, see? And I'm gonna want it to be like this when it's folded over. I want it to be like this, right? So I need to have it like this to have it, the flap go over like that. That will be here. Again, I'm gonna, well, I can just do it by putting it like this. See? The line is there. I'm just folding it over, making it even. Making sure the sides line up to each other. Will be this. Alright, so you got that there. This part is the bottom part. That's easy. That's the bottom part. What we need to do though is mark where the hole is. So your hole is going to be here, because we're going to put that other brad in, or if you're doing a button, you would sew the button on there. And this one, we'll do the same thing. Do it from this side. No, we'll do it from this side, it's fine. Go like this, centered. So we'll take one of the brads, put it through here, open it up, and again I'm going to use this because I'm weaky. Right, and again over here. So if it was a button, you'd be sewing it on those two pieces like that. So then I'm going to take this. I would like this to line up with that. Okay, even though these don't line up, I would like this to line up. Aesthetically, it would just make it more pleasing to me. But you got to put this in here. This has to go down first. And you got to decide where it's going to be. Move it down a little bit. I want this like this so that there's room here to wrap this around. So we want it that height. Well, I better put glue on it first. I line this up at the bottom. I put this where I want it at the top. Actually, I would like this up a little higher, and if I do that higher, it's going up too high here. So if I trim this a little here, let's see how it goes. Put this like this, that like that. Oh, that makes me happy. That way I'm getting the back stuck to it in the right place. Coordination here. No coordination. So that way this is open here, the card can go through. I got the one piece here, you can glue it down. Yes, wiggly lines, that's how I work. That's how I roll. Let's start getting all the cards together. Let's do that. We need to cut out this, 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 and this, all the tags. So you need two of these, which is this. I'd have just used a different color paper. That's this one here. You need two of the large one. The large one is going over here. So we have this. Putting our pad in here. Just pull it together. We got a tag. I decided I was going to use my stamp here like I did on the other one. That's sticking out there. If you have a stamp, you can do whatever you want with your cards. You don't have to do what I did. Hope you're seeing that. Here's the second one. All right. So that's those two front tags. This side's almost done. Then we flip it over. We got everything that needs to go in the back there. Let's get this tag here, which goes into here. See if this, there we go. I just need to get it open more. Okay, so that will go there. I'm just going to throw a little lace on the top there. Again, you do whatever decorating makes you happy. Trying to find the right side of the lace. I think this is it. Turn it over. You could do it square on the top. My other one was square. This one I just made more like a tag. And that goes like that. Yay. Okay, let's get the little tags, which are the ones that go in here. So this is the small tag, which is that one right there. The small tag, you cut it out. Let's see. My paper's a little wonky. Bigger ones I'd probably trace out or something, but this one's inky dinky, so it works like that. What I did with it is I just took a stamp I had. So to protect my table right now, I'm going to put that there. Let's see if I can get a better stamp this time. Got my distress ink. You can use whatever you have. You don't have to use these at all. I just decided I wanted to for this. So this is my walnut. Right? So regular hole punch, nothing fancy. Put it on the back too. There you go. Go around, get the little yellow out. That's all right. All right. These go in here. So there's that pocket filled. Yay. And for this one, it's this. You need 2 tags. As far as this goes, you can do whatever you want with it. You know, I just got this, I don't know if it was a car ad or something. I don't even know what the ad was. And I had the pretty flowers and I just cut them out and glued them on top. You can do whatever you want. What I'm going to do here this time is I cut some flowers out of these papers here. And I'm just going to glue them on. And that's what we'll use. That's one. Let's try and see what we come up with here. Okay, so this will go on top. I'll put this down here, put that down here. Okay, let's try this. See if we can do it. Got this here. This one I think next. Sorry guys, I keep going off the screen. I know I am. I'm not trying to. I just have to learn to work away from my body. That's what we got. Let's go in and we'll see if it works. I was thinking of this one down here, and this one kind of, maybe I'll put this one over here. Let's see if we can do this. Here, it's gonna have to go like that. Oh, because I have leaves hanging off, it's gonna be a problem. See that? So this one needs to go on this side. And this one needs to go over here. There we go. Is get some string. This is what I use now. I'm using this to bind my journals when I make them, to put the signatures in. What I need to do is we're going to put the thread on here, all right? And I'm not going to cut it yet because I don't know how long I'm going to want it. So this way I can just tie it. I'm doing it 3 times. I feel like it gets pretty secure if you do it that way. I cut this here. Now I want this to be able to go like this, 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 and just a little around here. Here we go. We gotta put these strips in. Let's get the flowers out of the way. Let's get our length good. About here. That'll work. A little tiny bit less. This one a little thinner. Okay. I'm putting a pretty thick bead here because it's got to soak into the fabric. So I'm putting a thick one. And normally with this art glitter glue, you do not need a lot of it because it comes out really thin and it sticks really well. But if you're using it on fabric, I use a little bit more. Okay. So I slip it in between the two. Move. Very crickety. I'm not putting it in the middle so much because I want it to be able to bend nicely. I don't think it's necessary. I guess you could if you wanted to. Now is go and take these and just really, unless you have fabric you want it to be, if you're doing a really clean design, I just tend to work grungy a lot. But I'm seeing a lot of people in the group working, really clean. They would handle this fabric a little differently than I am. See, that makes me happy. So we got our little flowers here. This goes on this side. This goes on this side. Oh, that makes me happy. Oh, that came out okay. All right. Does this go over? Yes, that can go over. There we go. Yay. That is all done. This side, you put this in. Got your tag there, right? You got your tag here. You got this here. This is going to fold like this. And you got this on the back. It opens this way, closes this way, go like this, goes like this. The last thing we need is the tie for here, is the string. Again, I am going to tie this around. I haven't cut it yet because I want to wrap it around, and that's what's going to hold the whole project close. Now this, wrap it around this way. I want to wrap it around again, and I want to wrap it around, and this is where we're going to tie it off. You can use embroidery thread if you want. You don't have to get a wax linen thread or anything. You can use embroidery thread. I'm trying to think. I want to be able to let it hang like this. I'm going to put these on. They're old buttons. So I'm going to push these up. Just tie the knot here. Okay, so this goes around here. Wrap it around again. Get my buttons down. Wrap it around again. I want to wrap it this way because I want them to hang on this side. That's just what I want. You can do whatever you want. Voila! This is done now. Yay! That's your project. You do whatever colors, your papers you want, and whatever clean. You don't have to have it grungy like this. It's this. You got your paper pad. Turn it over. You got your flowers. You got your tag in here. You got your tags here. Fold it back up. And there you go. All right. I hope you like this tutorial. I can't wait to see what all of you come up with. Put your pictures up in the group and it'll be great. And if you don't belong to Junk Journal Ideas Facebook group, you can go on my Etsy. You can buy this pattern. I have it on there really inexpensive. And you can follow the video and make it yourself. But we would really like it if you came and joined the group. We have a great group of people in there. Everybody's encouraging. Everybody just lifts each other up, and you just see some fantastic work. We'd love to see you at Junk Journal Ideas Facebook group, and I'll have that link there as well. Have a good day, night, evening. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye.